Hivin and Vibin with Dr. Bibi.
He has about 18 plus years of guiding hundreds of founders to secure funding and sharpen their strategies. Known as the triple-headed dragon, he's founded and exited multiple companies across healthcare, science, and agriculture. A proud Alfred P. Sloan Award winner, David is a sought-after speaker and investor judge who thrives in high-stakes, fast-paced environments. He champions positive mental attitude and helping founders prepare to achieve their greatest potential. Thank you, David, for being with us. Or you're rather known as Dr. David.
Banya, thank you so much for having me here today. Really do appreciate it.
Fine. There are quite a few things that actually struck me when I was going through when I was reading your bio, and that is you started capital raising 18 plus years ago, so that is a long time. So we have quite a few number of years to catch up there. But before that, I wanted to understand, how did you get the moniker triple-headed dragon?
So I was called the triple-headed dragon, mainly due to the fact with my business experience. I'm a physical therapist, or as you say down in Australia, I'm a physio by trade. So I have a medical background. I've also have started companies as well as sold companies. And also, most importantly, I've also invested in companies as an investor myself. So it was actually when talking with some other people and attending conferences, it just kept on coming up. You're like a triple-headed dragon. You understand medical, you're a business owner, you've done it yourself, and also you're an investor, so you've done it yourself as well too. And that's why we're called UCS Advisors, because an advisor is someone who's actually has real life experience, unlike a consultant who doesn't always have that experience.
That's lovely to know that the difference between advisor and a consultant. So, with that, how did you achieve the Alfred P. Sloan Award? And what were those things that made you,
great question. The Alfred B. Sloan Award that I won was for workplace programs and workplace flexibility. And when I had my physical therapy clinics and my personal training centers, I gave every employee unlimited time off, which blows people's minds. But I say, if you like where you work, you're not going to want unlimited time off. I also would let my employees book their doctor's appointments in the middle of the day. Why? Because that's when most doctors are actually the least busiest. Take a step further. I also every quarter gave every one of my employees the opportunity to make quarterly bonuses as well as profit sharing. And I empowered each employee to also act like their own business owner. So, interesting story. I was part of the Morris County Chamber of Commerce, which back at that time was voted one of the top 10 chamber conferences in all of the United States of America. The president of the chamber is like, hey, I think you should apply for this. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't really think so. And it was a long process. I had to fill out a bunch of paperwork. And then I had to have all my employees fill out third-party surveys about their thoughts and about working for my company. And I was very fortunate to win that award, which only a handful of people win.
Very much so. Can you give us a little bit more a context of how exclusive this award is? Because this is going out to a lot of different countries.
I guess the best way of putting it is this. Think about, first and foremost, you have to get nominated. Secondly speaking, then you as the business owner needs to fill out multiple levels of forms. If you pass that qualification, then they reach out to all your employees to have them fill out forms about you as the owner. And you can't force your employees to fill out those forms. So now after that occurs, then you get put into a pool with everyone else to see who finishes up at the top. And I don't know the statistic. What I do know is that after I won it, all of a sudden, a lot of people started knocking at my door. And all of a sudden, a lot of people say, "Oh my God, how did you win this award? Do you know how difficult it is?" So I don't know the exact numbers. I do know that if you were to Google it, not too many people really have it.
Lovely. I am so privileged to have such a great achiever here with me today. And it's for our audience as well to get to know your knowledge and to understand your wisdom here too. Uh, Dr. David, the next question that comes up is you started investing almost 18 plus years ago, getting into this investing and capital raising entire game of it. What made you join this?
Just like every other founder, I need to raise money for my company. So I've actually been raising capital for my own companies since I was 24 years old. And the process kind of continue on from there. And I was very blessed that my business partner for my physical therapy companies used to do what I do now. Before there was Instagram, before there was Facebook, before there was GoFundMe, before there was LinkedIn, we actually had to use what a phone is for to actually talk to people. So I was very blessed to have someone who kind of showed me the ropes, and then I developed my own style of it.
Right. Uh, can we go back to that particular time? What that made you actually go out and look for a founder?
And look for what?
Look for an investor. Sorry.
Oh, simple. Just at the end of the day, let's just call a spade a spade. In most countries around the world, you don't qualify for a bank loan. So if you don't qualify for a bank loan, where do you go? You go after an investor, right? Very simplistic. Like remember, UCS, use common sense. But you're not gonna, the probability of you getting a bank loan is not very high. So where do you go to? Go after investors. Then on top of that too, for your listeners, I'm sure we've all heard of Richard Branson. Richard Branson is one of him and also Mark Cuban, who's very well known in the United States. They both say the same exact thing. If you are going to be a business owner, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, the very first skill you got to learn is how to raise money. Plain and simple. And that's the skill that we find that most people skip. And then they blame the economy, they blame the banks, or they blame other people instead of looking at themselves in the mirror. You have to learn certain skills if you're going to be a business owner. And capital raising is one of them.
Okay, I'll come back to the capital raising part of it a little later, but before that, I would like to understand what made you champion the positive mental attitude.
Have you ever tried to do sales or try to raise money before, Vanya?
I'm trying now. I'm actually learning now.
Okay. So in general, though, do we live in a very positive world or a negative world?
A bit of both, depends on the lens
No,
that
no,
you're
no, no,
looking
no, no,
through.
no. Let's role play here. Nothing, it's not, we don't live in a 50-50 world. Is the world more positive or more negative? The entire world. It's negative.
Okay, if you want to say it that
No,
way.
unfortunately, this is every single day. People will think about more negative thoughts than they will positive thoughts. Let's take
Okay.
another step further. When you're doing sales, are you telling me you're going to land over 50% of every sales call you have? Yes or no?
No.
No. So that means more negative, right? Okay, great. Each time you apply to go do something, are you always going to be successful? No. More than 50% of the
No.
time? No, you're not. Once again, negative. Okay. Now, capital raising. Every person you talk to raise money for, are they going to say yes to you? No. Once again, negative. So we're constantly getting negative, 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 negative. When you're dealing with a business owner and a founder, you have to maintain that positive mental attitude. That's something we do here at UCS Advisors, is we help people maintain that positive mental attitude and also to think outside the box. Okay. On top of that, too, most people just look past the hood of the car. They don't look down the road. And let's call a spade a spade. We're too glued to this thing called the telephone, and people are on social media way too much for a quick dopamine fix. And if you get that, and if you lack that dopamine fix or that, hey, I'm accepted, then you know what? That's a lot of negativity. So once again, that's where positive mental attitude comes into play. And when you're dealing with startups and founders, you're gonna get told no majority of the time for business, for leads. It's even, and if you want to parlay this to medical people, do you want to go to the doctor who's been doing cardiac surgery for 10 years? Or do you want to see the guy who just graduated medical school and he's only been doing cardiac surgery for less than a year? You know, the person's probably doing 10 years. So that's where positive mental attitude comes into play overall.
And okay, now we are going to link this positive mental attitude with raising funds that we spoke about a little earlier. And I get the negative answers that we get all the time that when we start raising or selling or whatever, and all the different steps of of owning a business. But beyond that, how does it really work as an artillery for us to then enter into the world of investors?
I don't understand your question. Artillery?
Artillery in the sense, how does it really work as your weapon or as your shield? What is what is its basic role other than being able to look at things more positively? How does it work better?
I still don't understand your question.
Okay, let me ask again. So what I'm trying to ask here is that I get that we have a positive mental attitude. We sort of frame our minds to be more positive. But what is that hidden element in this positive mental attitude that actually works in the investor world?
Maintain that positive mental attitude is the reason why you get out of bed in the morning and to keep moving forward. Are you telling me, Banya, that you want to give up after hearing one or two rejections?
No.
A lot of people will give up though very soon. A lot of people say I talked to 20 or 30 people and I heard no. So I'm just going to give up. That's where that positive mental attitude comes into play. Also, it's being able to take yourself out of that situation and being able to see the positive and the silver lining in many situations as well too.
Okay. What I'm learning then is that this positive mental attitude not only works on keeping the day-to-day activities moving, but it also helps in instilling a strength in a person to be able to forge with grit and resilience over a long period of time.
True. And then let's take another step further. Have you ever heard of Napoleon Hill?
Napoleon?
Napoleon Hill, Think and
No,
Grow Rich.
no,
He's a
tell me.
very, very famous author. I'm sure a lot of your coaches know of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And he even talks about maintaining a positive mental attitude. If you look at just in general, any country that you live in, you became the country that you became today because your leaders had to maintain that positive mental attitude. Remember, we used to have rulers, emperors, kings, queens that ruled the land. People had to believe in themselves to make changes.
So now you're talking about the
So
passion.
Banya, you edit this, right? We're spending too much time on PMA. I'm just telling you right now, like this is not flowing. This is not going very well right now. I do a lot of podcasts. We're spending way too much time on PMA, way too much.
No, I get that. I was just going to go beyond that right now to ask you, so when we have persistence, I actually wanted to understand more about how you talk about passion and then lead your passion into asking about how did you then move from physiotherapy to, your how do I put it, into your way of looking at coaching? Because right now what you're doing mainly is coaching. So how did that happen?
Vanya, let's do this because I'm seeing the questions because this is not going well and there's gonna be a lot of edits. And I want to make sure we prepare best for it. Why don't we reschedule the interview and I'll go through all your questions so I can understand more exactly where you're coming from with this because this is not flowing very well at all right now.
Oh, I would have actually, this would have moved. I mean, okay, if you want it that way, it's fine. Because what I would have done is I would have moved from your passion part of it. So when you're talking about persistence and you're talking about resilience, it would have moved from there and it would have moved on to how you moved your physiotherapy into your. So I'm trying to knit your physiotherapy practice and what happened there and how did that move into investor, which I touched upon earlier and moved into
And
that.
yeah, if I looking at how you did these questions, you should ask about the physical therapy stuff first, and then where did PMA come from? When did you start to implement that in your business? Because PMA didn't start 18 years ago. PMA started with UCS Advisors. And I had to ask you a couple times to ask the question again, which looks bad for both of us. So why don't we do this? Because I really want our best foot forward. I'll go through your questions and I'll go back onto the link and we'll book another time. I know you're going to India, so but I'll book another time then. Why don't we do that, Vanya? Because the questions that you're asking are deep-rooted questions instead of superficial questions, which are good. Don't get me wrong, they're good. But I also don't want to sit here and pause and it's not. And I unfortunately I've been coached for podcasts before, so I know for myself also what's not going well. So, and I want to make sure, especially with you being a client, I want to make sure that you really shine too for what you're doing, and I shine as well too. So why don't we end this? I will go through your questions, review them, so I'm 100% prepared. And I can see which way you're going with it. All right.
Okay, if you want it that way. Sure,
Yeah,
no
that's
problem.
it's a better way of doing it. Because this is I didn't understand where you're going with the PMA, spending way too much time going down the rabbit hole way too much. PMA was not part of this 18, 19 years ago at all. So I figured to go more into the background of the history of things and eventually get to the PMA side of things. And then looking at your questions just now. Yeah. Because I assume you're going to go through these questions in order for the most part for the next one.
So what I generally do is I don't really go through the order of it. Even in the bio, so I usually start off, I pick up from the bio, like I picked up each one of them, the how you got the moniker, and then I let you lead me to the 18 plus years. Like if you say that, so 18 plus years ago, so PMA didn't exist at that time. PMA actually came in a lot later. And this is how the whole thing started. And so
Okay.
that's what I was looking for, getting you into the story of
But you're
telling.
you're the leader though. You're the host, so I let you do the path. So, but if you want, but next time I'll be more aggressive though. Then, if that's the case.
So, oh, okay. So was I being very aggressive or something?
No, 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 no. I was being very passive because you, as the host, I was letting you take the lead on which way you want to go with things.
Oh, okay.
And
So
that's why I'm
that's
like, why are
that's
we
what I
spending so
do.
much time on PMA when there's so much other stuff that occurred before PMA? And you're
Yeah,
going
so
down the
that's
right.
where you take it there and you tell me that,
Well,
before PMA, you had
but
19 years ago, there was something else that was
yeah,
working more.
but you kept on asking the questions, and you're the host. So as to guess, you always let the host lead which way they want to go, and that's why we kept on going down and down. I'm like, okay, this isn't making any sense right now.
Okay,
So
so because I would have then that the very next question would have been on passion and how the physiotherapy thing happened and how
yeah,
you built from there. So I was actually stitching the investor part with the, how you went about funding, raising your fund, getting into the investor part, which I did first, and then I got into the moniker part, and then this PMA thing, and then build it up from how your passion actually pushed you into getting into things. That is where I was getting at. So anyways, so you let me know when you want to do it next
yeah.
and
Just
we
go
will do
back to
it
the
then.
registration link again. Just do that.
Okay, so I gave you the registration,
No,
gave
no,
you
no.
the
I'm
whole
sorry. I
thing.
mean, go back to the calendar link for it.
Which link?
Go back to the previous calendar link to book it another time.
Oh, okay.
No, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, so I can, okay. That's fine. Even if I'm in India, I am doing interviews.
Okay.
There will be people whom I am interviewing while I'm in India, except for the December, Christmas vacations. The rest of the time I'm taking interviews and all that.
Okay. You got it. Perfect. And now I understand a little bit more where you're going with this. So thank you for explaining that. I appreciate it.
Here it is. Oh, I'll send it to you through email or
Yeah, email would be perfect. Awesome.
okay. So anyways, I'm sent it here once. I'm sending it through an email as well.
Okay. Awesome. Cool.
No problems.
Appreciate it. And I'll also review those questions. And now I know, and no one's half the battle.
Great. So I'm sending you the thing now.
Okay. Perfect.
Schedule interview.
Awesome. Cool. All right. I appreciate that, Vanya. Thank you.
No problems. Yep, sent it through.
All right. Perfect. All right. I'll go on that. Thank you, Vanya.
All right, and in the meantime, let me work on these and I will keep you posted. As I finish, I will keep sending them to you. Is that how you want it?
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be perfect. So then I can keep looking at things as you progress with it.
Okay, great. I'll do that. So I'll be using Orchestrate then for creating a sales kit, which I will share with you. I will also use the Orchestrate for exec summary and for the pitch. 3 things.
Awesome. All right. Sounds
All
good.
right.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Vanya.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.